based on the salary cap, when can the Saints begin to go for that top free agent? Also, what do you think is Staley's dream free agent?
I mean, they could right now. They got 27 million in cap space or something like that. Like they could go get someone right now. And the way they work their magic, I mean, they could go after top free agents next offseason, even though they're projected to start the season over the cap. I'm the way you play these numbers, I mean, you can get those numbers way, way down in year one. So they can go after them anytime they want. Like when should they? When will they beat to be going after it? I would say you should probably never go after top free agents because they almost all bust and they almost all get overpaid and they almost all end up being bad deals. And that's how bad teams end up staying bad. You're usually better off finding good deals in the second wave and drafting well. That's really how you build a good team. Maybe a finishing piece here or there, but if you're trying to build your team through free agency, you're probably building your way to despair and not really ever finding your way out of it. But yeah, I mean they could do that as soon as today if they wanted to.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking you talk about those big free agents and kind of how they don't hit. I was thinking about Von Miller. I don't know why that name specifically stood out, but when he left Denver, he went to Buffalo. I mean, he had some contribution, but the name Von Miller just went away. That level of reverence and stuff that goes behind his name went away. And I just even had to think about where is he right now. And I don't think he's on a team right now. He played for the Broncos, went to the Rams for a season, and was in Buffalo. But I think he may be a free agent still. So it's a lot that can go into that. It's a lot that can go
Yeah,
into.
obviously, like Drew Brees, that's the counter to this. There's exceptions to every role, but most of the time you aren't getting Drew Brees. You're getting
Right.
Jadeveon Clowney. You're getting, guys that aren't hitting the way they used to. But yeah, I mean, there's difference makers out there, obviously, but I just don't think that should be your team building strategies that you're going to go out and sign all these guys because like they're going to end up being Jarvis Bird more times than not, and that's usually how they end up working out. Like even trading for one, Jimmy Graham wasn't Jimmy Graham when he left. A lot of times it just
Yeah.
doesn't play out the way you want it to. But then Randy Moss was a trade. Revis was a good hit for the Pats when they got him. Like there's guys out there that can come in and make a major difference, obviously, but it's just usually it's not the best way to build your team. Like you're in a much better position if you're drafting well and you're kind of adding, spice or like the side meal comes in free agency. But if you're trying to go out there and get the rotisserie chicken, like you're paying, you're not paying a supermarket price. You're paying, someone that went and bought it and they're reselling it to you price.
Hey, at the time, not a top free agent by any stretch of the imagination, but Zach Bond, players like that.
Yeah, that's a
Just
wave three guy though.
yeah,
That isn't the most guaranteed money of all time,
yeah,
new market setting contract. Like that's not it.
yeah. No, I don't know, man. Even taking in consideration just what goes into.
Trey Hendrickson.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but it worked out at the time. But right now, with the relationship that they have and how that's deteriorated, I'm not gonna lie. They caught him on the golf course the other day, and then they asked him about it. That might have been the most like eloquent and mature way I've ever heard anything explained in the history of everything. Just like the way he went about explaining that whole situation was kind of eye opening to wow, bro. Like this is really a business that goes into it, and you could see kind of like the hurt in his heart. But just going back to what free agents that Brandon Staley specifically would want to sign and be good. Who do you think is that top player that if the Saints defense got would just turn things around so quickly?
I don't think there is just one. I mean, they need edge guys, but again, look, like Chase Young isn't, that's not a guy you sign and it changes the whole fortune of your franchise. Like he's a good player, he's a good
Yeah,
guy to have around, but that's kind of, and he wasn't even a big money free agent really. If somebody was out there that could change your fortunes as an edge guy, sure. I would like it, but like let's say since he cuts Trey Hendrickson, like how old is Trey Hendrickson right now? He's like probably 30, right? He's not a young player.
no, I don't think he should be.
He's 30 years old. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, so you bring him in, he's probably got 2, 3 good years left, but are you in a position to where you should be doing that right now today? I would say no. I
no,
don't think you're in a
yeah,
position for it right now where it makes logical sense. that guy's a little bit too old, and I wouldn't do it yet. So I don't know. I mean, for me though, it would probably be the edge guy or the corner. I think those are the two guys that they really need. And if there was like going after Ward this offseason, like that made sense. He's a younger player. They still
Right.
had Derek Carr at the time, so I think uh
Money
they
wise, it
kind of,
didn't. Yeah.
yeah, he's 28. He's a little bit younger. I guess even then, that's a little bit long in the tooth. Like Justin Reed, when you take Derek Carr out of it, like my thought process about everything kind of changes a little bit. Like Justin Reed has played 8 NFL seasons, I believe. Like he's 28, 29. He's not an old player, but
Right.
he's not young. And I feel like this team's probably 2 to 3 years away from being in a place where they can go compete. Now, you need players to build around. You need culture guys. I think he's going to be a great culture guy. I think he's going to be a great example setter. I think
Yeah.
he's a good guy to bring in here behind Tyrann Mathieu. When Tyrann moves on, like he can kind of move into that leadership role. Like you need guys to build around. So I understand having a few of them, but just individually, like I think when you take Derek out of this, it changes the viewpoint of kind of everything and how you build the team and the approach and your timeline and all that. With Derek, you're trying to get there quick within the next year or two and be in a position to take advantage of that. Now that he's gone, I think your priority in your team building approach probably changes across the board. And I think some of their moves this offseason would have been different too had they known that
Oh,
this gentleman wasn't going to be part of their season.
yeah, for sure. For sure the moves change. The way you operate changes just completely
Yeah.
if it's known that he's gone earlier than what they found out. Just going back to kind of staying on that same note, actually, just what do you think the long-term ramifications of that is going to be, throughout the season
Of what?
of Carr retiring?
I don't know.
Okay. Because like in my mind, I think it's gonna continuously be like in the back. I don't know, because not the popular opinion, but just I think at one point it's gonna be brought up like, well, y'all wanted this guy gone and you've lost X amount of games. But I think
No,
it's just a process.
I don't think it's gonna. I don't think. Well, I mean, sure, there's Derek Carr sympathizers and Derek Carr supporters and Derek Carr this and that. But I think no matter, I think if you take emotion and bias and all that stuff out of it, this is a team that's better off not
Yeah.
pursuing that. So
Hell yeah.
I'm sure there's people that are gonna. There's always gonna be people that say things. And look, the safest thing to do in sports is to take the opposite of what everybody else thinks, to be the counter person. Because like, let's just say for instance you want to take the approach that I don't Kevin Durant, whoever you could just be. I don't want to play on his name.
That's my goat, man.
I don't want to play on
That's
his
my
name. No, I
goat.
think he's great, and I'm
That's
trying to make a
that's
point. But
serious talk.
but who do we want to pick? Who do we want to pick?
Jalen Brown.
You, you know Justin Herbert. You can say he
Okay, yeah.
sucks and all this, and he's overrated, and if you want to keep going down
Okay.
that path and stand on that hill, you're probably going to be right. You're probably going to be right because probably not going to win a Super Bowl. Jordan Love, oh, he stinks. Probably not going to win a Super Bowl. Like the odds are most
Mm,
guys aren't going to win a Super Bowl. And if you want to just have this take and just be, stand on it or whatever, like you're probably going to be right. You could say Kyle Shanahan sucks and you're probably going to be right because he probably isn't going to win a Super Bowl. And we all know that Kyle Shanahan's like one of the smartest guys, one of the most influential people in the history of football, honestly, like offensive football, honestly, one of the most influential people. But if you want to say he sucks, you're probably going to be right. He's been right on the cusp a couple of times, but you're probably going to be right. And then if he wins one, you can just be like, well, he only won one. So you're still going to be able to stand up. Most people don't become Mahomes. Most people don't become Brady.
yeah.
Most people don't become LeBron. Most people don't become Steph Curry. But for anyone else, like you can just be like, this person sucks. And like that you're probably going to end up being right. If you want to be the person that says everything is wrong, you're probably going to be right because there's only one way for you to not be wrong. And that's to win, not one, but two. Because anybody can win one. You just change your argument. Once they win two, you got to eat it. But you could just say that about anybody. And it's the
Yeah.
cheapest trick in sports. They do it on TV every day for years. For years. Two of them made a ton of money off it. Mileage just ran out on one. But like you could just do that every single day for years. And like it's on YouTube all over the place too. Like it's just
Yeah.
the safest take in the world. It's just to be like, this guy sucks, he's not good enough. And you're gonna be right.
Yeah.
Because there's only one way to really be wrong. Like for Peyton Manning, like that was the thing with him forever. Oh, Peyton Manning sucks, and then he won. Well, he only won one. Then he got two, but it was at the end, and like but for 15 years you got mileage out of this topic, and you were right, and it's just that's just the way it goes. I don't know what led me down that rant, but
No, I mean it's a very successful rant because you think about it. Whenever it gets tight, you could just move the goalpost and still be
oh
right.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's the safest thing to do ever. I mean, it's the whole industry of the major network was built off that principle.
Yeah.
That's just what you do. Like so, yeah, I'm sure people are gonna, be on the other side of there's always somebody on the other side of something, but yeah.